Hello everybody, this is Hocus, and welcome back to RambleSMP Season 2 for episode number 11. I hope that you're having a fantastic week, and that you're ready for some more Minecraft action, because we will be jumping into some of that in just a moment. On screen right now, you're seeing a time-lapse of the chaos around the base that came about when I began moving all of our storage around. So I've got some miscellaneous chests, barrels, and shulker boxes around the base. What I've done is I've gone out to all of those, collected their inventory contents, and I've taken them to the warehouse for a more centralized storage. In the middle of this process, I also built another segment of chests inside of the warehouse because we ran out of space in the original chest segment that we built. And overall, I'd say that things are looking much better for this little job. And oh yes, an improvement indeed this is. So now, like I say, centralized storage means that I've only got to come to one place to get everything we might need for a build. And I've just realized I've completely forgotten to add the stilts in on this set of chests. So let's go ahead and place those down. There we go. Now we can say it's complete. I also forgot to add the slabs in under the second tier of chests, but I'm still not feeling 100% actually. I mentioned that at the end of the last episode, so we'll just blame it on that, I suppose. I've also been thinking a little bit about the area that we have inside of this warehouse, and I mentioned, again, something else I mentioned in the last episode was that I don't believe we'll ever fill this entire warehouse with storage, because everything I own right now pretty much is in those two banks of chests. I've also got an upstairs, so I'm actually considering possibly moving some other things in here. I've already popped down a bed, which may be temporary, but we've got things like the super smelter out here, the portal, the enchanting setup. There's some small things that we might be able to move inside of the warehouse instead of having them outside, but maybe I'll let you guys think about that and let me know down in the comment section below what your take is. So the main goal for today's episode is going to be building a gunpowder farm. So a creeper farm, but it's also going to produce string, so a gunpowder and string farm. But not before we take care of some menial tasks, one of those being the movement, the logistical move of the cows over to the barn. So I think easiest thing to do is probably to reduce their numbers to 2, move them over, and we can begin repopulating. Okay, you guys can stay right here in the middle pen next to Jimothy. He's completely harmless, I promise. I have so many questions, but I feel like I'll never get the answer to those questions. I'm over here at Am's base because we have sort of organized a trade. He's going to give me some golden apples and some potions, and I'm going to give him some yellow wool. However, I don't think he's actually got together his end of the bargain yet, so I'm just going to drop off the wool for him, leave some signs, and hopefully we'll figure out sooner or later where we can get our end of the trade from. So I've given him everything. This is all I had at the farm, 3 stacks and 60 pieces. I've left him a little sign as well, which you guys can read for yourself. Hopefully, I'll hear back from Am soon, and we can maybe cure that villager at the end of this episode. If not, we'll get it done ASAP. Don't worry, Jimothy. You'll be cured soon, my friend. Ow! Hey! And then it was time for some tool repairs. So with a nicely repaired set of tools, let's get down to work. Before we do get down to work, which, why would I say that and immediately not get down to work? I don't know, but I just thought I'd mention this is going to be the first build that we take out over the ocean, just because if you build it over the land, you have to light up some of the area around the farm. So if we take it out over the ocean, that just saves us some work and also saves us some space, because I was just talking to Endavar, and I kind of mentioned that I haven't planned out any of the builds at all. I've just chucked them into the world and hope for the best. And it's worked out so far. But putting a build out here is definitely going to save us some space. Any hoodly wow, let's just stop nattering and get down to business. I'm going to need some spruce for this build. So the video I'm working from, and essentially copying the design from, is a shulker craft video. He's comparing and contrasting different designs to see which one is the cheapest, most affordable, I guess those two go hand in hand, and the design that produces the most drops for the cost and time to build. So the one I've decided to build is quite simple. It's going to have 5 layers. It is a design that I believe was popularized by Nembon. And essentially the way it works is there will be a rotating stream of water that will force mobs off of the platforms. They'll fall down into this bowl that I'm digging right now. And in the center will be some magma blocks, which kill them slowly over time. And then obviously once they die, their drops will be collected in the middle and we can harvest them whenever we're ready. The reason why I'm tearing out the floor here is because I accidentally built it wrong. So I'm working from a still frame in the video, not an actual tutorial. So it's kind of tough to get things right first time. And this time I got it wrong. So I'm going to actually have to move all of these blocks down by one just to make sure that the water streams function as they should. Oh, I'm having a nightmare with this, guys. I'm having an absolute nightmare. So I figured out the streams. They now all flow to the middle quite well. But we've got this huge patch in the middle that isn't covered by water. And that is just not going to cut it. So I think now perhaps the best thing to do would be to block around this area here, because I still want the water to flow into the middle. So if we lower the block on the inside of this one that I'm placing now, we can create one final layer inside of which the mobs will be forced onto magma blocks. Yay, we finally got it to work, and this has taken much longer than it should have done, but now it is finally complete. And we can begin taking this farm upwards and making the actual functional part. Well, I guess this is functional too, but the bit that spawns the creepers and pushes them to their doom. So the water now flows over the top of the magma blocks, which will cause damage to any mobs that basically are forced in there. And also, the water makes items flow into that central location, which means we only need to have one real collection system right in the middle of this build. And that just simplifies things so much. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think we'll probably jump into a time lapse now and build some of the rest of this farm. What have you got for me? Oh. Thank you, thank you.
One golden apple, but I have 2 in the other. As soon as I get the other hooked up, bring them over.
Okay, yep, sounds good. Awesome, so Am just stopped by to give me my potions. He gave me 1 golden apple, and if you didn't hear him, it was a little bit difficult to hear him. He said he's going to be back with some more, so we should have enough equipment to recover 3 zombie villagers once he returns, which is pretty cool. But until then, we've got some stuff to do here at the creeper farm. Just one final thing, in fact, and that is to build an etho hopper clock underneath the farm to allow it to function correctly. So I think that'll be the best way to do it. So we'll want the block that's being pushed right there. We'll have 1 sticky piston there and another right in this slot here. That should be fine. We'll then want the hoppers underneath the block that is going to be moving. And I'm trying to do this from memory. I haven't built one of these in a while, so give me some time. Then I think we'll go with slabs right there, and I think that was my helmet. It was. Oh, darn. Get out. Okay. And then comparator, and we should just need redstone dust. Redstone dust? Is that it? Chuck some items in to test it. 25. Okay. And then... oh, nope. It does need to be a redstone block, doesn't it? My mistake. Torch down to light things up for you guys, and then replace this with... hang on, give me my items back. Whoa, 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 bang. And then back in. Okay. Right, that should be it. So then what I think is going to happen is that when this slides across, it'll trigger the dispensers once. And when it slides back again, it will trigger them again, essentially rotating the flow of water on and off every now and again. I think that'll be okay. All that's left to do is to put some buckets of water into the dispensers, and hopefully we'll have a functioning farm. And yes, we do have a functioning farm. You can see Mr. Creeper and his brother are about to be eviscerated. Probably not the right word. Scolded to death. Ah, yes. The beauty of Creeper death. Now, changes to the farm. I've changed my mind. The whole thing about not putting anything in the middle didn't work very well because only one mob could take damage at a time. But with this system, multiple mobs can take damage at the same time. And I have, due to that change, implemented something slightly different here as well. So we've got a cart that runs back and forth, collects the drops, and unloads them into the 2 chests right here. The only thing that I'm a little bit upset with about this farm is that at the moment it's just floating above the ocean. There's nothing tethering it to the ground, and to me that doesn't seem quite right. So I want to change that. I want to add a pillar or a plinth or something underneath that allows this thing to be not breaking the laws of physics. Oh, not gonna lie, guys, that last hour and a half building that structure was probably one of the most miserable sessions I've had on Minecraft in a long time now. Just painstaking. You could see in the time lapse that I did something, retracted it, did something, retracted it, couldn't get it right, retracted it again, did something else, it didn't work, retracted it. It was just one of those where I don't know, the stress of working from top to bottom just annoyed me because I kept having to rebuild scaffolding, take it down, collect blocks from the water, and anybody who's played this game for more than 5 minutes knows how frustrating those two things are. So it wasn't a good time, and to top it all off, I wouldn't really say this is one of my best pieces of work either. It's very bland, needs detail. I was thinking of just throwing some leaves in there actually just to mix it up, but I don't know, it doesn't really fit the theme at all. So what we'll do is we'll leave it as it is for now, and potentially, hopefully, you know, there's a miracle, and at some point I have an idea to improve it, and I can just jump back in and improve it, because we also, and I hate to say it, we didn't actually finish it. I got so frustrated with it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it beneath the water and to a decent position, and then we're just going to stop, because you can barely see anyway. Unless you got a night vision potion, you can barely see, so that'll do for now, and it also gives us a sneaky little way to get inside, because I left the scaffolding in. So if we go up through the center and take that torch down, first of all, get out of the way, thank you, and build this up to the top, we should actually be able to use this to access the storage. I can hear a few mobs dying throughout the building process, so we'll take a look. Oh, okay, we must have had a skeleton in there at some point. We've got a little bit, but obviously there goes another creeper. Obviously, these numbers will improve once we build an AFK spot. With all this playing around here at Station Alpha and active hours on the server, it obviously results in a bunch of... Wow, here you can already see it spilling over. It results in a bunch of resource collection down here in the underground bee thingy. So we're almost maxing out these chests. Well, I say almost. We're maxing out these chests. So I've got the perfect plan. I decided to make this change to the structure that gives the farm some structural integrity, and it was the inclusion of some honeycomb blocks. Now, there were two main reasons for this. The first one, which you saw in the last clip, is that we have so much honeycomb and I don't really have much to do with it, so it's good to get some of it used up and make a build out of it. Secondly, I really enjoyed the contrast between the magma blocks and the deep slate before I covered the magma blocks up, and I think that the build was just too much deep slate. So to break up the wall with a contrasting block, in this case the honeycomb, it works really well and it makes the build look so much better. Even down in the water there, I've added it. Next up, this dirt bridge needs to go. So what I'm thinking is we build a different bridge, one that looks a lot better, and an access point into the farm. That'll do for the entrance. Doesn't need to be super fancy. So pressure plate, iron door, pressure plate, access the inside, skelly on the inside. It's not your home, skelly. Please leave. Thank you. Then we'll want a super simple bridge that connects us to the shore. And there you have it. Super simple bridge. But no bridge is complete without some design details and, of course, some structure. Let's do it. Alright, cool. So the bridge, I think, is looking nice. Three nices. So connecting it up to the rest of the base is probably going to be done using a little staircase here. So first of all, we're going to just chuck in some stone stairs. We'll probably want to go up to about this level here. That aligns with essentially the rest of the base, or does it? Maybe one more might be beneficial. Then from here, we'll strip out some random stairs and replace them with andesite and polished andesite stairs. Perfect. And then we'll probably want some sort of wall that kind of separates the staircase from the general terrain. So I think what we'll do is begin with some intermittent oak. Yep, that'll do. So the oak sections have 5 block gaps in between them. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3. Turns out Hocus can't actually count. That's embarrassing. Okay, so let's try again. 5 block gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within that gap, we will just go ahead and fill in stone. And then once again, once we have done that and we are happy, we will interlace some of the other block types. So we'll maybe have something like that just to transition it. So this isn't absolutely ideal, but I can't really see any other way to do it, and I'll talk you through what I'm thinking here in just a second. As soon as I remember if we need a block there, I think we do. Yep. So the transition between this wooden pillar and that one is quite steep compared to this one and that one. So it's gonna look a little bit strange, the wall. Not really sure how to combat that though. Change of plan slightly, but I think it's worked out. So what I decided to do was raise the height of the oak to the highest point that it will reach, and it was that point right back there. So now everything's in line with that, and I've got a flat wall that's more distinguished than it was before. And if we come down here, I thought this was going to look weird, but I actually really like this. So these two massive pillars really point out that this is the way to go in and out of the shulker. Shulker? Hocus, we're not talking shulkers. The creeper farm, the creeper / spider farm. It works well. So I've got a little bit of lighting there, and then on the outside I've made sure the walls look okay as well. We can grab this shulker. Now that's a shulker. Got that one correct. And this is what the wall looks like from this side. I made sure that these pillars came over the backside as well, just like they have done elsewhere in the base. I think all in all, it works very well. So we are moving close now to the end of the episode, and we have got a lot done. But there's potentially one more, maybe slightly crazy thing that I wanted to do before we do wrap up for today. For this next slightly crazy thing that we're going to do, I need name tags. So we're over here at Am's base again to trade with his very, very kind villagers. And I figured that whilst we're doing that, I was going to freestyle a little rap for you guys, just to keep things interesting. I have some sticks, they are so cool. You can use them to make pretty much any tool. I'm going to the village to make a trade, but I'd rather have these sticks than a hand grenade. I got some green gems from this funny looking guy. He didn't say much. I think he's shy. I traded them for 1 or 2 name tags, and now I've got them in my bags. Yo, I'd just like to apologize for any PCs, phones, laptops, tablets that are now on fire from that amazing track that I just popped out for you guys. So SoundCloud link's gonna be down in the description below. Inbox me, any producers watching. I'm happy to record records for the right amount of money. Let me know. Let me know. So there it is, the quote-unquote crazy project, which, it's not really that crazy, is it? But I figured it might be fun to have the 2 mobs that are contributing to the farm in front of the entrance to the farm. And that, my friends, is the face of Minecraft, really. The most iconic, probably one of the most iconic enemies in gaming history. The Creeper, and one of his good buddies, the 8-legged freak spider. So I've encased both of them in their own little glass display case, where they will live forevermore in front of the spider and creeper farm. Alright then, everybody, that is going to be all for this episode on the RambleSMP server. I hope you had fun with it. I certainly did. This was a great episode, another productive one, and this farm behind me is going to come in so handy. Very soon, I'm going to build an AFK spot for it, and I'm just going to spend a bunch of time here so that we can craft up all of the rockets. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the episode or not, but Endavar and I are kind of teaming up on this one. He's going to build a sugarcane farm. I'm going to build the gunpowder farm, which is already done, and we're going to just share the farms between the 2 of us and make tons and tons of rockets and tons of diamonds, hopefully, between the 2 of us. So it's going to be like a combined project between neighbors, and I think that's going to work out very well. So I do hope, like I said, once again, guys, you had fun with this episode. Please take care, stay safe, and until the next episode, bye for now.